everyone, welcome to Downward Dog Rising. I'm going to give you a workout using a foam roller tonight, and I'm Tracy, so I'm introducing myself if I haven't. And I want to give you a nice release in case your quads feel tight, in case the IT band, the side of your hip running down feels tight, or in case your side glutes feel tight. This will help you get a little release. So that sounds like something you want to work on today, then please join me. You'll need a mat and a foam roller. And then I want to do something just to give your hip flexors a little bit of motion to get you warmed up and get you released. So let's start off lying on our back on the mat. And then basically you want to tighten your core, lower down to the mat. In order for this to work out, you're going to start off with your heels. I think I'm going to go this way so I have more space. Yeah, I have more room this way. So when you lie down, you want your heels to be resting like right on the centers of the foam roller. And then I want you to feel how your core pulls deeply into the center of your spine, the anterior, and it elongates and lifts up. Chest is open, shoulders are down and back. I want you to roll into your tippy toes. So your tippy toes, balls of feet are like holding onto the roller. Let's get into the front of our hip socket here where that crease is between the thigh and the hip joint. Let your knees draw sideways. Feel that crease right in there. Pull into your center, zip up, and now roll back to the heels. So you roll up to the toes, open to the knees sideways, roll back to the heels. Tighten your core. Exhale. Inhale, draw in. Notice how I'm not arching my back. Exhale, I'm scooping the abdominals tight to back. Start to feel how it opens up the hips, and you got to get the feet in the right spot or else you'll lose the foam roller. You'll find that out. It'll just disappear from you and go sideways. 3 more. Lift, knees out, scoop in. Feel that openness right in the front of the hips. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, get the blood flowing. 1 more. You're going to inhale, exhale, come back. Awesome. Okay, now after you do that, bring the foam roller in a little closer, and you want to have the bottoms of your feet be on it, and go ahead and just roll a little bit right over the bottoms of your feet just to release tension in your feet. Do a couple more like that. Keep tightening your core into your spine as you do so. All right, now place the arches of your feet over the foam roller. Maybe slide back a little bit closer to the heels, but still be on your arches. Careful your knees, avoid flaring out. Now create length between ribs and hips. Avoid putting weight in your neck. I want you to just keep the chest open, press arms firm into mat. And I want you to bridge, but keep the tailbone. This part stretches away from you. Your ribs integrate down together in front, and then set your hips to the mat again. So I want you to keep your collarbones wide. You're going to elevate up. I want you to use your glutes, engage, and then bring your pelvis straight to the mat again. 8 more. So you're lifting up. Tighten your core all the way to your back. Keep pulling in. 7. Lifting up, lowering down. 6. Use your core. Really tighten the core to your back. 5 more. Stabilize pelvis. Work your core, support your spine. And 3. Core is strong. 2 more. Exhale. Send the energy line past the knees so nothing's lifting higher, like shoulders, hips, knees, and come straight down. Let's do 1 more. Exhale, lifting up, and then gently lowering pelvis to mat. Good. Okay, now take your feet to the floor for a second. And just notice where the low back is. You want to feel like you can do a posterior pelvic tilt where your hip bones roll back, and it just creates like a little bit more of a space here right in the front of the hip, and then come into neutral again. So you're going to peel the hip bones back and then softly come back to neutral. Hip bones roll back, feel the low back stretch longer against the mat. Release back into neutral. Peel back, posterior pelvic tilt, scooping in, come back into neutral. 3 more, because we want to get the front of this hip to really stretch apart. Come back to neutral. 2 more. Come back to neutral, keep the length in your back. 1 more. And then come back to neutral. I'm showing that to you because we're going to bridge up on top of the foam roller, and we do not want to load our spine by letting our hips fall forward and having our back arch off the foam roller. I want you to be sure you know the difference. You want to roll your hip bones back, posterior towards your ribs, towards the spine, and then you just hold them like that so that they don't roll forward when you're up in the air. So you're going to grab your foam roller, bring it under the backs of your thighs, and then once you have it under the backs of your thighs, tighten your core. You're going to bridge up. Remember, no weight in neck. Slide the foam roller under the back of your pelvis. Very important, avoid bringing it on your low back lumbar vertebra. If you feel for where the front of your hip bone is, that bone, the anterior superior iliac spine it's called, if you press into the bone and you come directly to the back of the pelvis on the other side, so you're lower than the low back, you're across the back of the pelvis, the iliac crest, so the posterior part of that back of the pelvis is right there. So we're going to go lower than the low back. You bridge, set your pelvis on there so it's not on the low back, it's lower where that hip bone is, it's on the other side. Now you do your posterior pelvic tilt. You might have to pull your shirt off your neck because the shirt can ride up. Tilt your hip bones back. Now keep the elongation in your low back area. So I want you to basically feel how when you tilt your hip bones this way, you get a deeper stretch and it starts to pull apart in the front of the hip. I want you to tighten your core and just do 5 toe taps, knee folds, without arching your back off the foam roller. 4, your hips stay right where they are. 3, chest is open, pelvis is stabilized. 2, and last one. Bring this leg down, keep the hip bones posteriorly rolled back so your back doesn't arch. Now do the same thing. You might feel more pulling on one side if you're tighter. 4, core is strong, keep hips tilting back. 3, scoop your core into your spine. 2 more. I'm having my hands on my hip bones just to remind you not to let your hip bones roll forward and arch your back. Keep from doing that. Keep your hip bones tilting backwards. Last one. Now, keep your hip bones rolling back. Hug one knee in. If you start to slide, hug knee in. I'll do it this way so you can see what this hip's doing. You hug the knee in. You keep your hip bones rolling back. I've been fighting a hamstring cramp this whole time in the back of this right leg. Woo! I'm fighting it. So now you're going to feel how you're going to inch this leg long without arching your back. You're trying to pull, elongate all the way down without lifting your pelvis up, without arching your back. See if you could keep the middle of your knee joint aligned over the second toe. If you pull your pelvis out of alignment, it's not about, you want the leg to eventually go out straighter, but not if it's going to cost you your pelvic alignment. So make sure you keep your hips back here. Stretch leg long, just breathe for a moment. It's going to feel really nice in the front of your hip and thigh. Keep those hip bones rolling back. Just get some length in there. Breathing in, breathing out. Think of your tailbone lengthening away from you. Breathing in, breathing out. Just enjoy the front of this hip lengthening out. Breathing in, breathing out. You have 4 quads. One of them will also flex the hip besides the true hip flexor, the psoas. I think it's the quadriceps femoris will also flex the hip. A certain degree of range. So you're going to feel this front of the hip. Inhale, exhale. Okay, we're going to come in. We might have to adjust. Bring this leg in. Set that leg down. Make sure you didn't roll higher, so you're still on the back of the pelvis, back of where those hip bones are. Now we're going to do the other side. So you're going to take this leg in, keep the hips straight. Now slowly see if you can start to inch this other leg away from your center, making sure you don't arch the back. Maybe it straightens, maybe it doesn't. Keep pelvis stabilized. Take your time, breathing in, breathing out. You want to feel like that front of that hip and thigh are just getting pulled apart. Just inching that leg down. Keep the low back long. Notice how I'm not letting my back arch off the foam roll. The back of the pelvis stays supported on the foam roller. Inhale. Exhale. I'm not putting pressure in my neck. It's across the middle back. Inhale. Exhale, feel the collarbones widen. And just let that front of the other leg, thigh, hip stretch. Breathe. Two more deep inhales here. Just let the front of that thigh settle. Lengthen it out of your center. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing in, breathing out. I'll give you some more open space, spaciousness. One more time, inhale. Exhale, gently, softly release. Wonderful. Now walk this leg in. Bring this leg down, tighten your core to your back. Now just slowly lift pelvis, roll that out from underneath you. Now notice how much flatter your low back, just really nicely released against the mat. Now go ahead and extend your legs out straight as well. Extend your legs long. So you're gonna feel how the low back feels like it's a little closer to the mat. You're gonna feel a little bit more openness through the front of your hips. Just feels like you've loosened up a little bit. So there's no tension or pulling. So it feels like your spine got lengthened, as well as the front of the hips loosened up and opened. Okay, so we're gonna do a couple more things. I'm gonna have you just turn to your side, and then you're just gonna slowly press up to a seated position. Okay, take your foam roller, bring it horizontally across your mat, and then I want you to sit on it. Your sits bones stay directly on it. And the reason why I say that is because you don't want to fall off the back of it. If your sits bones go off the back of it, so do you. So it's a good rule of thumb. Now, let me just slide this back a tiny bit. Okay. So what I want you to do, sit on your foam roll. Notice how I have both legs in front of me. My sits bones are on the foam roll. Take a little step out. So I want you to take we're gonna turn and face this way. So I'm actually gonna have you bring this ankle over above the knee. We're gonna go right into the crease here of this hip and thigh. And I want you to turn sideways. And I want you to go right into that crease. And then I want you to start to go forward and back, right across that crease. So you can start to get into your glutes. That side of the hip and the glute. Breathe. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So you're not gonna stay in any one place for too long. You go in, you go out. Inhale, exhale. You can adjust yourself on the mat as you need to, so you stay on your mat. Just go back and forth, back and forth. It'll feel nice to get those muscles to release in there. If it's super tight, sometimes it makes a big thump and a thud, and hopefully it doesn't get to that point, because that can be really painful. All right, so next, I want you to uncross that ankle and stay on one side of your pelvis and just try to roll right over the side of that glute a little bit. So you have weight on one glute but not the other. And just kind of think of going diagonally, horizontally across the side. Where you were earlier, across that iliac crest on the back of the pelvis and the side of the hip. Then we're going to come up and then we're just going to switch it. So you're going to come back to the middle of your foam roller. Again, you want to be on, you're going to be on your sits bones so you don't fall off the back of it. You have your legs bent. You're going to take this bottom ankle. You're going to go right above this knee. And then you're going to start to turn your body. So you go into this hip crease, that crease where the thigh meets, and you're going to go to the side edge of it and start to roll back and forth right across there. You have your other arm on the floor, press your palm against the floor. Go back and forth. Inhale, exhale. If I do it at a different angle, it looks like this. So I'm turning towards you, going into this crease right there, and then I'm just going back and forth. Back and forth. I'm keeping my shoulders down away from my ears. Just go back and forth. Back and forth, right in there. Getting in, getting out. All right. And it could make heat as that blood starts flowing. All right. Come back to the center. And then you're going to put your weight on that one glute. You're still at a diagonal angle and just kind of go right over the side of that glute. Like starting to go on the edge of it. Breathe into it. Breathe it out. Breathe it out. Horizontal fibers going over the side edge of the glute, wrapping around it. All right, a couple more. Go in and out. Excellent. Okay, so next we're going to we'll do the other side. Give that leg a break. Let me just come across this way. So you're going to go on your sits bones. Once again, you don't want to be behind them because you'll fly off the back. Extend your legs in front. So this time, this bottom leg is going to go out straight. You're still going to turn onto your side. We never roll across our knee joint. Remember that. We're going to turn sideways like this. This back leg can be bent. This bottom leg is straight. And then you could either come down to your forearm like that. You could drag yourself back and forth if that feels better. If it's too much pressure now that you've been on your palms, if that hurts your wrist, come down to your forearm. Now, you're going to roll along the side. Stop before you get to the knee. And then you can roll up the side. And just breathe. Back and forth. Remember, you don't go over the knees. Stop before you hit it. Inhale, exhale, get this whole side. You could turn foot out a little to differentiate those fibers. You could turn the leg in a little to differentiate if you go wrap further along the back or if you wrap closer around the front. So just see what works for you. Turn the toes out, turn the foot out for a few rolls across, and then you could turn the foot in. That's intense. When I turn it in, it goes more lateral to the outside edge. Woo! See what's working for you. Good. The more you turn it in, the more lateral it's going to go. The more you turn it out, the more it rolls towards the front part more. And breathe in, breathe out. Couple more. Stop before you get to the knee, and then we're gonna switch sides. So then it's gonna come around like that. Sit on it again. Take your legs out. Extend. Okay, we're gonna turn and go right on the side of this hip. That leg's gonna be straight. Bend this leg in. And I'm not having you do double leg. You can put all your weight. I don't want to put too much weight. I don't know what's going on with you, so I don't want you to do too much. So some of your weight's going down into this leg, just trying to keep it safe. And then you could come down here if you need to. It's a little harder to maneuver, but you can do it like that. Just push into the ground as a modification. Or else you can come back up, roll up the side. Stop before it goes to the knee. That side just jumped. When it's super tight, it feels like it goes and it jumps across. So you go in, you go out. Again, you turn the foot outward. You're gonna get it more moving front this way, wrapping this way. You turn it inward, you're gonna get it wrapping more laterally. So just see what you need. Breathe. You shouldn't have sharp jabbing sensations. It should be an uncomfortable release where you can handle it. You feel like something's releasing. So if the pain increases, that's your cue to stop. It shouldn't be increasing. It should be decreasing as you go. So stop if it does the reverse. All right, we'll do a couple more. Inhale, exhale. Last one. Okay, then we're going to come down behind it. And then if it hurts to kneel, avoid kneeling. If you've had a knee replacement, I wouldn't kneel. You could, no, I'd stay away from it. Be safe, just be safe. Avoid this with a knee replacement. So I'm going to have you kneel behind it. Never go across your knees. You're going to stop before you get to the knee. And we're going to roll out the front of the quads. So go straight. Keep the legs straight in the beginning. And then you could roll them in or roll them out. And then that gets different areas because you have 4 quad muscles. Quad means 4. So we're going to come down to our forearms. Scoop your core tight because we don't want to arch our back. Your abdominals lift to your spine. And then you're just going to go forward and back. Stop before you get to the knees. Rolling up and down the front of the thighs. Now you're going to do turned out. Stop before you get to the knees. Keep your abdominal wall lifting into your spine. Just rolling it up and forward. Woo. And now rotate the legs inward. Get that lateral edge. Your shoulder blades are anchoring down your back. Your shoulders are down, back, away from the ears. Spine is long. Inhale, exhale, just get a release, tailbone long. 2 more. So you could differentiate between parallel, legs straight, going into a turned out position, keep lifting through your center, or turning inward to get the lateral edges. Whew. Couple more, tighten your core to your back. And then gently, we're just gonna come back behind here to the knees. And then I'll have you do this little rest pose to release your spine. So I just want you to feel the tailbone stretch back. Lift your heart over and just stretch those arms forward. Relax your forehead towards the mat. Maybe it touches, maybe it doesn't. Do what's best for you. Maybe you'll support the knees more by curling those toes under. Sit back, hips over the heels, and stay here for a couple breaths. Really stretch that lumbar spine apart, that low back. And then inhale, and then exhale. Breathing in, breathing out. Two more times. Release that spine. And one more time. Deep inhale. Exhale, gently, softly release. Wonderful. Slowly walk your hands under the shoulders. Rising up, lengthen head away from tailbone. Once you come up, if you're comfortable, just come up to your knees like that. If this is uncomfortable, by all means, you're going to sit with your legs crossed in front of you like this. This might feel better for you to sit this way. You could sit like that. You could stay on the knees, see what works. Just take a deep inhale. Bring all that positive chi, energy, prana towards your heart center. Healing energy. Loving yourself with kindness, taking care of yourself. One more. Deep inhale. And then just gently bring hands to heart. And just feel centered and balanced and peaceful because you took the time for self-care today, just to release tension in your muscles, just to get a little bit of a release. Appreciate you for watching. And if you like my content, please help me grow by hitting like, share, subscribe. So appreciate that when you do that. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Peace, and I'll see you again soon. Bye, everybody. Hope this helped. Take care. Bye. See you soon.